Oh no. I went to take the last acorn nut off, and what do you know? It's taking the whole stud with it. That's not good. Especially since the lock nut for the stator is probably, making it hard to turn it back in. So, and you can't pull it in and out because of the stator lock. So we'll take all four of the front cover nuts off. Okay. And gently try to get some fingernails or something behind there. And alright, so while you're in here, also take a flashlight, shine down, and make sure that that blade is sitting against that leather seal on the rotor. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to undo our jam nut that we just created. So set back just a little bit, and alright, so sometimes from inside you might have to grab a pair of pliers real carefully. Go ahead, back that off just a little bit, and then back the secondary lock off just a little bit. And then you can remake your jam nut if you want to, or leave it in place, it doesn't really matter. But what you're looking for is this little bitty nut right here. And sometimes it just unscrews with it, so we're going to start turning the stud back into the motor while we hold. Actually, want to get that nut backed off just a little bit, and then start turning that stud back into the motor case until it's good and tight. Then we're going to undo our jam nut. Take the front plate bolt off. Alright, and now carefully take the front plate, and you'll see this loose stator nut, and in this case I believe that is in this case 5/16. Alright. Nice and tight. Alright. So these covers can be a little bit cantankerous to get on and off. You just got to be careful, make sure you don't go too fast or you'll break it. So start putting your front cover nuts back on. I do them two at a time, but if you're just starting out, just do one at a time. Take your time, have fun with it. Alright. So when you're cranking down the cover nuts, just a little bit of pressure, go side to side, and you know, the gap's not perfect on these really old Emersons, but so that's, you know, like putting a tire on. So tighten that one, tighten that one, tighten that one, and tighten that one. And I always put the struts on the cage before, and I just go all the way across here, all the way across here, making sure the diagonal pattern leaves the hump for the bottom, which yours won't have because of the age. But you'll want your badge to line up. So feed your struts around your wings and start with putting your acorns on by hand. In this case, I go diagonally as well. The last one, you'll have a little pressure get slipped over. Alright, and since you have those nuts on the case, you can go ahead and crank down on each strut, but watch the orientation of the cage as you tighten. You don't want it to be locked in at like 5 degrees or anything like that. But you could always fix by loosening these and turning the cage in it, but I kind of like a perfect center symmetry. So that's tight. That's tight. That's tight. And that's tight. And you do want to make them tight because these are pretty vicious fans. Just saying. So now everything's in place. And we did that without having to take the blade off. And we were able to take a look and see if the washer was nice and flush with the rotor. Anyway, hope that helped.